Host Eric. I'm the host talking with fast people. Irritated once again by by interfacing where it does not belong. Listen, interfacers, T-ears, F-ears, there's a time and a place for you, okay? And there's a time and a place not for you. So I just got done working with this kid. Well, you may know her as Chloe. Anyway, she's not a kid. She's like a high school student. But regardless, the teacher assigns this assignment. And there's a problem implicit in the way that it's been assigned and dealt with, right? Namely, the teacher's asking her to make a distinction between there's this group in Africa protesting bad governance in Nigeria, and it's asking them to distinguish between somehow the demands that they're making and solutions they're proposing. Well, they're not proposing any solutions. They're protesting existing policies in hopes that those policies will be ended. And accordingly, that's what the answer to the thing should be. It should be what it is. The answer should be what the actual answer is, not how can I bullshit this in the way that my teacher wants me to bullshit so that I get a good grade or something. The thing is, there's this mistaken belief that that's the better way to succeed academically. You're more likely to get a good grade by bullshitting in accordance with how the teacher wants you to bullshit than by telling the truth. The truth is, you're always going to be more well served to attack every bit of bullshit, every moment, every speck of it you see anywhere. Attack. Because the thing is, nobody respects appeasement. And accordingly, nobody respects appeasers. Nobody thinks Neville Chamberlain did a great job in appeasing Hitler. But, I'm dealing with this, not the student, in particular, it's the issue. It's the student's mother, who has no introverted intuition whatsoever. She's ESTJ, and accordingly, cannot conceive of a world in which actual quality trumps, polished turds that are, constructed according to some bullshit formula of bullshit. How's my Sunday? Well, we've had a bit of a rough couple of days here, to be honest. The power went out yesterday at 9 in the morning, and it still hasn't come back on. I'm running the generator, which you may or may not be able to hear in the background. Otherwise, we wouldn't even have any electricity at all, or any ability to live stream. They say it's going to be fixed by 2:30 today. But it's like, come on, PG&E. Anyway, it was a terrible time for the power to go out because last night was like the coldest night of the year. When I woke up this morning, outside was all icy and shit. Our central heating doesn't work without the electricity. We do have these propane fake fireplace things that work without electricity for when the heat goes off. But what did I do? I turned off the pilot lights and these things both upstairs and downstairs because they're terrible to have like going all the time on the pilot light. It heats up the house, it burns through propane, it's ridiculous. But then when I go to turn it on yesterday, I couldn't figure out how to get the pilot light on, or I couldn't get it started, and it was just freezing. Chuck Norris once had an arm wrestling contest with Superman. I'm not going to say who won, but the loser had to wear his underwear on the outside for the rest of his life. Wow, Chuck Norris is pretty tough. Why must you constantly clog? Why? Why? Why are you being a constant clogger? So I am planning to watch one of the afternoon football games. The morning football games were pretty lame, you know. It was like a bunch of like 2 and 10 teams and stuff. Eric, me and my dad are baking bread for the holidays. Can I interest you in a loaf? Well, I mean, sure. Crash is a big dog. So, or so I hear. From what I understand, anyway, Crash is a big dog. Chuck Norris has an arm and fist that hides under his beard. Huh. I wonder what's hiding under my beard, if anything. But Rachel and I did get to go to a neighborhood holiday shindig yesterday. We went to the Atkins' house, had some foods, and drank some LaCroix, which is flavored water. Because they didn't really have much non-alcohol there, you know. They had a bunch of different alcohol, and then they had LaCroix. So I drank LaCroix. Banana bread, cornbread, artisan bread. I would suggest you make me pita bread. There's a challenge for you. Weirdo. I am a weirdo, that's true. Matthew Danforth. You speak a lot of truth. You are wise in the ways of weirdos, and you recognize how I'm weird. Yes, you're wise in the ways of weirdo, and I know that you've got a beard, dude. Oh no, no, not weirdo. Oh, weirdo. Oh, well, that's a lot different. I am a weirdo, that's true. I'm quite the weirdo. You know, International Weirdo Magazine voted me Weirdest Man of the Year. So that's pretty good. That's pretty weird. This is my friend Firecrotch. She's named in the Native American way. Because I'm always lighting fire to her crotch. Accordingly, her name is Firecrotch. I am weird, Randy Wiggins. We've just been discussing that. My extreme weirdness disorder. A lot of people don't get this, but actually, weirdness is a medical problem. It's a disease. Shout out Billy Wallace from the UK. Shout out from California, America. How are you doing? Are you having some tea and crumpets in the UK? Are you watching the footy? That's what they call soccer in England. Footy. Do they call it that? Maybe they do. You know what they call trucks in England? Lorries. You know what else they do in England? They spell color wrong with a U. Crazy. I like that lady soccer broadcaster who goes like, he's really asking questions of the defense now. He's really asking questions. You know that lady announcer? I like her. The way she does that. Okay, all right. You win the point, Billy Walls. We're the ones who are spelling color wrong. Fine. At least we can both agree on, can we? On like pounds and ounces rather than kilograms and grams. Thanks, Oak You. I love my beard too. We got it at Beard Emporium in the fancy beard section, where only the most premium of beards are sold. You know what I like about soccer is it's the only sport in which you'll hear the announcer say that somebody, oh, you got kilograms? Metric system, just get out of here, metric. Just get out of here. Um, so, soccer is the only sport where you hear somebody say he was betrayed by his first touch in a dangerous spot. Sounds very sexual, right? Sounds a little rapey. He was betrayed by his first touch in a very dangerous spot. I like watching international soccer. I don't watch Major League Soccer in the U.S., but that's because in men's soccer, we kind of suck at it, you know. Women's soccer, we're good. I'm so glad that that horrible Megan Rapinoe is gone. You want to live your life like me once you grow old? Don't wait. You start living it like this right now. I'm gonna. I've been fortunate so far. I still haven't grown up. Fingers crossed. If I never grow up, I can never die, right? That's my understanding of things. How did it feel like when your parents left you to the heavens? It was rather dramatic, really. It was quite dramatic. Well, my mom's death was just kind of a relief because it was after a long, extended battle with Alzheimer's disease, and I just, it was just horrible. My dad, on the other hand, he. Do I have any tattoos? I do. I have a couple of tattoos. Small ones. I have two tattoos. One on my left shoulder and one on my right shoulder. Just really small ones. Anyway, one of them is like basically rubbed away. You can barely see it anymore. Yeah, I'm semi-retired, so to speak. I got so frustrated working with this kid. I used to be a debate coach, but for these clients that we're friends with, kind of, and I'm willing to help their kid do other stuff. Um, 8. I don't want 8 tattoos. I wish I didn't have any tattoos, but I do. Okay, so the thing is, I wish that these clients would listen to me. When I tell them, just tell the truth. Yeah, Billy Wallace, you're not wrong about that. Are my kids successful? I have one daughter. She's 26. Is she successful? I mean, she's kind of semi-retired too. Well, Billy Wallace, I'm gonna go with you on this. Let's go back to the days when the British Navy ruled the world. The sun never set on the British Empire, uh, and you know, life mission is successful. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm exactly successful in my life mission. I had a lot of life before this, right? So like I was a very successful debate coach. I had national champions. You know, it was very competitive. It's a very competitive sport, essentially. Even though it's not an athletic sport, it's a sport because it's zero sum. You know, in order for you to win, the other guy has to lose. There's no everybody gets an A in debate. Eight is immortality. Remember that, bub. Eight is immortality. Okay. Well, you know, eight on its side is infinity. So maybe there's something to that. With the swip swap. The swip swap, huh? I don't know what the swip swap is. What would be the one advice you'd want to give to a 22-year-old? I'm asked this question relatively often. The answer is poop when you can. Don't wait until you have to. I think that's universally good advice. That's because your head isn't infinitely big. Obviously. If you're going to get your head around infinity, your head would have to be infinitely big. Hi, Brad Stover. Life's been pretty good. The Infinite Eight, a superhero squad band name. Sounds good. Kind of contradictory, though, because eight is definitely a finite number of things. I think it would be incorrect to say that eight is an infinite number of things. Anyway, we have we have no electricity from the electricity company right now because because the power's been out for more than 24 hours now. Fortunately, we have a generator, so I'm able to still have internet. Like I'm making coffee right there, see, because I got everything plugged into these fire hazards right there. And of course, it happened on the coldest night of the year. It was absolutely freezing last night. I couldn't figure out how to get the little propane heater things working, so we just froze our ass off. Yeah, the finite eight, right? I think that's a better name for your superhero squad. We're the finite eight. What makes you finite? Well, there's eight of us. It's pretty funny stuff. We got to meet some neighbors. We went to this little neighborhood shindig. The neighbors were having, last night, the neighbors down over there, the Atkinses. Anyway, we weren't sure if it was going to happen, right? Because the power went out at 9 in the morning and it was out all day. But back here, everybody's got generators and everything. It was still happening. It's like you would never have guessed the power wasn't working. They had their whole house powered by their generator. My house, we only power certain things by plug. There's a plug in the wall in the garage that you plug it into, and then you flip this thing in the circuit breaker onto generator, and then it powers the kitchen, the upstairs lights, a couple of other things, but it doesn't power the whole house. These people, the Atkinses, it seemed to me like their whole house was powered by a generator that I couldn't even hear. They got so much of a better setup than we do. But I didn't know what I was doing when I bought this generator, you know. Thanks, repost dog. Well, we're out here in the woods, you know, so when we have a storm like we did the other day, a lot of times the electricity goes off. See, there's our shed down there. It's beautiful, but it's not just us who has this generator on right now. Everybody does, because power goes out here a lot. Sometimes it goes out for a while too. Like this time is more than 24 hours. That's too much. Yeah, I'm only 32, you guys. What are you talking about? I'm 32 months old. I'm 53, actually. Rachel will be turning 40 in January. A month from tomorrow is Rachel's birthday, January 16th. I really don't like the sound of the generators. Like having this constant in the background, it starts to really drive me crazy, you know. So I start getting mad at PG&E. Like, hurry up and fucking fix the power already. We have deers here. Yeah, we've got plenty of deers. We got wild turkeys. We got quail. There are bobcats, mountain lions, bears. Well, I've never seen a mountain lion, but I've seen these huge paw prints in the snow on the driveway one time. I've seen bobcats. I've seen a bear. And there's a lot of little rodents too, because our cats are always bringing them inside the house. Or one of the cats. One of the cats is a good hunter. The other one, he just waits for her to bring the mouse in, and then they try to torture it together while I try to make them go away from the mouse and save it. Cats are horrible like that, you know. Well, what are you gonna do? I didn't know when I got these cats that I was gonna be coming up here to the wilderness. So I'm unbeatable, bub. You are unbeatable, bub. I don't like noise at all. And the thing is, the house is actually very soundproof, except, you know, when you've got a generator going, a loud ass generator like we have going in the garage, it's just, I should have bought a different generator. I should have got a quiet generator, like a Honda. They're super expensive, but that's why I didn't get it. A Honda's like more than twice as expensive as this generator. But they're so much the best generators. Oh, it's cold in here. I've got this heater thing on, but Rachel's just in bed where it's warm, understandably. Goodbye, Matthew Danforth. Goodbye, farewell, good luck. I hope you and the rest of your life are fantastic endeavors of joy and endless delight. I'm bringing this heater over a little closer. It's 50 degrees. Hey, JJ. JJ's back, everybody. JJ's changed her name, and she's back. What was it like in your 20s? Well, you know, it was a time that was, for at least the first half of my 20s, was kind of like a time before cell phones. So, life was different before cell phones. Well, Joycia. You know, naming it a generator is so unspecific. It is very unspecific. So, in my 20s, there was a lot of socialization out in the world. Socializing, I guess you should say. Socializing out in the world. Nowadays, I do most of my socializing here on the internet. And in fact, it's been quite a while since I've live streamed, and I felt kind of like, oh, I need to. I'm feeling a little cabin fever, metaphysically. I should live stream for a little while. The plan here actually is to watch this little. JJ's been on TikTok lately. Well, hey, JJ, that's the JJ way today. Then say it was right, but JJ right. You know, that's what I always say. So let's see what we are going to watch football wise. I will have two choices because I don't have Sunday ticket. For those of you who aren't big followers of the American football, you may not know this. Oh, the Bills versus the Lions. This seems like a good game. So, we're going to watch and react to this football game here on the CBS network of television as we wait for the power to come back on. That's really what we're doing today. That's all I'm doing today is waiting for the power to come back on so I can shut down this goddamn generator and undo all these massive cables that I have flying all over the place. I know you're a girl, JJ. I didn't say you were a boy. Did anybody here remember me saying JJ is a boy? Oh, I see. First Last said that. Yes. JJ is not a boy, First Last. You can't have that much JJ sass and be a boy, okay? You have to have GRRRL power, sometimes called girl power. Happy Christmas for advance, old man. Well, happy Christmas for advance, Archangel. The Archangel Raphael is here to smite us with Michael's fiery sword. He borrowed it from Michael for this occasion. I thought you were Lily. I'm not Lily, First Last. God. You should know by now that I'm not Lily. And no, that lady is JJ. Her name on YouTube is now Lily Furfur. Lily Furfur. The Furfurs, I think, Mr. and Mrs. Furfur, I think they chose a good name for their daughter when they chose Lily. It's much better than, say, Farrah. Farrah Furfur would be a strange sounding name, but Lily Furfur, that sounds more normal. So we're watching the Bills. We're watching the Detroit Lions. Let's... Oh, for real, huh? I prefer to think of it as your last name, spelled FRFR. Furfur. Pronounced Furfur. Well, the Bills running back has made a jaunty effort on behalf of his team, working his way down the field for 5 yards, saying, hey, don't forget about me. That's right, I'm an important player in this game. So we've got Josh Allen at quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. 2nd and 5, down and distance. And he pretends to hand it off to the guy on the end around. Instead, throws it downfield for a connection with number 26. Big gain to Mr. Johnson. And it'll be 1st and 10 Buffalo from the meow yard line. Can you say skibbity toilet? Yes, I can. Well, I meant the other kind of furry. Oh, well, I didn't say you were a furry. I said your name was Fur. It's a Swedish name, meaning pickler of fish. Are you a pickler of fish? Obviously, JJ, you don't know Swedish last names very well. Because Fur is one of the most famous Swedish last names, originating with a family that pickled fish for their Dark Ages villages. So now it's 2nd and 5 again. The Detroit defensive coordinator is looking intently at his play call manifest on the field by his players. It looks like nickel, cover 2, but they're dropping into kind of a combo man zone of some kind. And the ball was thrown right to the receiver. But the Detroit Lion defender was right there with him and said, no, I'm going to pass interference you and then get my arm in there and knock the play away, and they're not going to call the pass interference. And he was right. They didn't call the pass interference. So the announcer just said it too. That definitely looked like pass interference, but no call. 3rd and 5. Joshua Jashino Allen has just called a timeout. Said, I don't know. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. It was unclear. Time was running out. I had to do something. Give me some Gatorade. These are the things that Josh Allen no doubt is saying. So they're taking a little timeout. Why don't we take a timeout to check the chat? What's black and white and red all over? A crushed nun. Your name is Loop. Loop Fur. Okay. I hope your first name is Doopity Doop. That'd be good. All right, now we've got Josh Allen. He's dropped back. He sees nobody open. He's getting chased down by the defensive end. Oh, he gets hit as he throws, but apparently successfully connects with number 26, Mr. Johnson again, I believe. And that's, I don't know. They're going to try to snap it real quick to avoid the like replay, I guess. I'm not sure if he legit caught that or not, but it was called a catch, and now the next plays happen, so nothing you can do about it now. Oh, let's see. Is it a catch? Yeah, it looks like a catch. All right, so Buffalo at 10-3, facing Detroit at 12-1. Buffalo is about to score. They're trying the old Bush push. And they do eventually rule it a touchdown in favor of the Buffalo Bills, sometimes called the Buffalo Bills. Natives of the region often refer to it as Buffalo. Let's see. Eric, have you ever unseriously entertained being a sports commentator? Yeah, I would love to, And if I were like prepped to do the thing, I would be quite good at it. I'd have to like learn all the players' names, and I'd have to do the pre-work before actually doing the game. Because you can't just be like, and that was number 11. All right, so now I got the Eagles game on the other channel here. The Eagles are 11-2, and the Steelers are 10-3. Another good game. So this is why I didn't even bother with the morning games, because the good games were in the afternoon. So in this game, it's 0-0, and the Steelers defense just held the Eagles to inadequate yardage on third down, bringing up a fourth down. But it doesn't look like the punt team is coming on the field. What yard line are they on? It's 4th and 6. Oh, they're kicking a field goal. I see. So they're going to try to kick this relatively short field goal. 34 yards is pretty much a gimme in the NFL. Pow, right through the uprights goes the football. And that means a score of 3 has been added to the Eagles side of the ledger, while the Steelers still have 0 points. All right. As we move to a State Farm commercial, we'll mute that one. Go back to the other game, which is advertising currently iPhone 16 Pro from Verizon. Currently now it's transitioned to Allstate commercial, while on the other commercial it's State Farm. So you take your pick. You get insurance either way. Yeah, I could call them by the most absurd characteristics they have. You mean like floppy hair guy or whatever? Is that Scarlett Johansson? Or is it a look-alike? I wouldn't expect to see Scarlett Johansson in this ad for FanDuel. But maybe, maybe. Maybe I don't really know anything. Okay. T-Mobile. Listen, Snoop Dogg and Patrick Mahomes. I've been a T-Mobile commercial customer before, and they're terrible. You're not fooling me. So, I guess what I'll do here is retitle this video. Bills, Lions, Watch Party. Bills, Lions, Watch Party. Hashtag NFL. Hashtag NFL. Hashtag Buffalo Bills. And hashtag Detroit Lions. All right, there. Now it's titled properly. Of course, we're actually watching 2 games in one, because we've also got the Eagles game on. Rachel's asleep. We're in bed anyway, because it's cold in here. We don't have any electricity right now. I mean, we do because of the generator, but it doesn't power the central heating. So, it's been very disruptive. We've been out of power since yesterday at 9 a.m. So Detroit trying to answer Buffalo's touchdown to begin the game. They start their drive off with a brisk first down pass just past the marker. And we see here a comparison between the points per game and scoring margin. The Lions are number one in both, and the Bills are number two in both. So we'll see if that trend holds true for today's game. Oh, down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. The Detroit Lions quarterback, Jared Goff, has just been sacked. The corner on the outside blitzes. The receiver runs his route. Obviously, he does not do anything to pick up the blitz. And there's nobody there to pick up the blitz. He just comes clean off the end and just bam. I'm tackling you, mister, says the cornerback. And the quarterback says, I am thusly tackled. Goff drops back to pass, throws the ball in the flat to number 14, St. James. Is that his name? Number 14. Now, anyway, it was, as I said, dropped off into the flat for a short gain accordingly. And that brings up a 3rd and 13, which is a fairly long amount of yards to go. A fairly large amount of yards to go for a 3rd down. But not impossible. Jared Goff in the shotgun. Nobody else in the backfield. He drops back. He maneuvers in the pocket, but he is sacked. And he fumbles in the process, and the lineman recovers it, and the Detroit Lions are going to have to punt the ball. Jared Goff pulls away his helmet, things like this. Oh, I'm so frustrated. What are we watching? Wood. We don't have a wood fireplace, okay? We don't have a wood fireplace. The only wood fireplace we have is my wood and her fireplace. What? You are look like Biden. You are talk like Biden. Nice punt. Well done. The Bills punt returner makes the best he possibly could out of it and goes for like 1 yard. So good punt, good special teams by the Detroit Lions there. It was kind of one of those end over end punts that's designed to bounce a long way, and it did exactly as it was. I'm sure the Detroit Lions punters hoped that it would go just like that. So, of course, here in the wonderful world of the NFL, there are going to be a lot of commercials. Currently, we're watching a commercial for Honda, the car company. Tell me about unknown. I don't know. I've read articles about it, and I know no more than anybody else does. I'm not sure who's hiding what or why or what's going on, but I have no idea. If you're asking me, was it me? No, it wasn't me. They were not my drones. I don't have any drones, let alone a whole fleet of them. I have seen plenty of drones. I see plenty of drones around here. There are times when we get a lot of drones at night. That's when I can see them. I think it's during the tourist season because it's legal to fly your drones up here. I think people do it to look for Sasquatches. I don't know, but they're just like little personal drones. I mean, I would say the unusual size of the drones is indicative of military style drones, not personal drones. You have gun shoot down. I mean, I don't know what gun. Do I have? You're saying I should shoot down the drone? I have no problem with the drones. I am alive. Yes. I'm not gonna go recklessly firing my weapon in that fashion. You know, I got nothing to hide. If they want to fly over my house and look at me all the time, I have a problem with the fact that that's not currently happening. I believe myself to be so interesting that drones should be flying around my house to keep track of what I'm doing all the time. And yet here I am with 5 people watching me on YouTube. So obviously, I'm wrong about that. Oh, good job, Josh Allen. Josh Allen buys time and connects downfield to well, a floppy hair guy. He's got long, thin dreads. He's got floppy hair. He's doing a great job of catching that ball, getting himself open. You know, he sees. I'm guessing he sees. Let me see. Actually, observe this. Yes, he sees his quarterback's in trouble. He's coming back. Oh yeah. He's going there. Yeah. Good job, number 4. Good job, Mr. Cook. J. Cook. J. Period Cook. So not Jay, but maybe Jake. Could be Jack. Could be John. Could be Jewel. No, I don't have floppy hair. Goal. What am I doing now? I'm watching the Bills versus the Detroit Lions football game. And I don't really have a horse in this race. It seems to be an interesting game because they both have good records. But on the other channel, I've got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Philadelphia Eagles in a Pennsylvania showdown. I don't know. I like the Bills and the Lions, and I don't really like the Steelers or the Eagles. So that's why I'm watching this game. No Diddy watching going on here. Putty cat. This is a Bills versus Lions football matchup, American football matchup of teams. And, you know, we're just basically really waiting for the power to come back on. The power. Oh, I agree. Good job not flagging that. Good job. You might have thought, oh, he hit the quarterback late, but I don't know about that. Come on, Chargers. You can do it. You can beat those Falcons. Oh, I'm sorry, those Buccaneers. I saw the colors and thought Falcons, but they were actually Buccaneers. If you're like most people, you've occasionally confused a Falcon for a Buccaneer. Your power went up? We had a big storm here. It wasn't any tornado, but it was very windy, and during the windiest part of the storm, the power went up. It was like 9 a.m. yesterday. So it's been out now for 24, 27, 28 hours, almost 29 hours it's been out now. I won the KC Chiefs bet, now hoping Patriots lose for the parlay. Well, that's a reasonable thing to expect to happen, I think. Patriots probably will lose. Josh Allen keeps the ball on the option play and gets himself a good 4 yards, I'd say. 3.5, 4 yards. Let's see what they say. Second down and what? Let's find out. 2nd and 6. Yeah, he got 4 yards on it, just as I predicted. I hope now you understand there are no parties, Democrat or Republican, and no any outcome about your willingness or thoughts. Thanks, Amicos. Okay, appreciate your input there. Anyway, Josh Allen, taking the snap in shotgun, hands the ball off to Floppy Hair, number 4, who has his shirt pulled, He gets his shirt grabbed, but you're not going to be able to tackle him by tugging on his shirt, you know. That's not a good way to tackle an NFL running back. He says, "Oh, I got you." But no. All he did was stretch out his little towel. No, it's not his towel, it's his shirt. My mistake. Obviously, if it had been his towel, it would have just pulled it out. Okay, so now the Buffalo Bills are threatening. They hand the ball off to number 4 again, Mr. Floppy Hair, a.k.a. Jay something. I can't see his name because his floppy hair is all over. Is it Jay Cook? Was that what it was? Yeah. Jay Cook. And nobody's sure what the J stands for. All right. Now, Buffalo is approaching the end zone. 2nd and goal. Josh Allen takes the snap, keeps the ball on the option play, and waltzes unopposed into the Lions' end zone, where he does a little pirouette before tossing the ball into the stands. The Detroit Lions fans are displeased by this performance, and the Detroit Lions coaches are pacing back and forth along the sidelines, looking distressed. "Well," says Josh Allen, "too bad for you and your distress, because I'm here to chew gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of chewing gum." Yes, I'm auditioning for a play-by-play job. So if you were to see what this is that I'm looking at, it looks like this, okay? So, you know, if I were to really do it pro style, I'd have it set up so like that was on part of the screen and my face was on part of the screen, you know. But that's too hard. That is too hard. You bet Josh Allen gets a lot of ladies. I bet he does too if he's single and if he's into that sort of thing. He could be happily married too. I don't know. If there's a Mrs. Allen. Maybe he's married to Mr. Ballin, Mr. B. Allen. What do you think? Cool, thanks for showing me your life being. You're welcome. Do you see the orange of my life being? This is the orange glow of my soul. How's the generator on? It's been on. I probably need to put more gas in it at this point. You know, it's been on. It was on some yesterday and I turned it off for a couple of hours and then turned back on because I don't want the food to get warm in the fridge, you know. So it's never been off for more than like 3 hours since the power went out. You think he's married into the Mayas family? That's possible. Okay. New Year's Eve live Nashville. Yeah. Sounds terrible. Sounds terrible. Not interested in watching it. Let's see. I am interested in seeing and finding out and learning and discovering the ifs, weathers, and wins of the Detroit Lions and their prospective comeback. Because they've encountered some difficulties right here out the gate. They're down by 14 points at home against a Buffalo Bills team with a record that's only a little less impressive than their own, which features just one loss. The Detroit Lions have lost just one game this year. In contrast, the Buffalo Bills have lost, I think, 2, maybe 3. Okay, here comes the rain again. So let's put it on the television. Check out this action. Check it out. We're checking out action. All right, so let's see how this game goes. This game could be a preview of the Super Bowl. You're not wrong. You can tell you sang when younger. I sang too back then. Almost 60, divorced twice, kids left the nest. Um, I mean, I don't know, T2. I will give the Chiefs full credit for where it's due, which is to say they certainly know how to win football games, right? But they've been anything but dominant this year. Now, Mr. Goff, who quarterbacks the Detroit Lions, has successfully dropped the pass off in a little short little drop off in the flat to number 20, no, number 60. What number is that? 26. Yeah, number 26. Number 26 kind of looks like floppy hair guy from the other team, but his hair's not as long. All right, so that's gonna. He did manage to eke out a first down from that. Nice job by the receiver there. Hands the ball off to number 26 again. So that guy Gibbs, Mr. Gibbs, he's a running back, the one who caught the pass in the previous play and who now got the handoff. He's the Detroit running back. And he does a nice job of getting to the edge, outrunning that linebacker, and picking up 10 yards for another first down. The Detroit Lions are moving right down the field. Jared Goff is saying, I don't even care to remember my Rams days anymore. Now look at me. I'm leading the 12-1 Detroit Lions. No, I'm not saying that they all look alike, but those two do. I do not know how or why, but I feel you by soul that we are pure friends in this scary universe. I mean, I could give my life to you. It is simple but true, if you understand it. All right. Fair enough. Oh, the flea flicker, but thrown. Oh, wow, wow! What a weird play. Normally, you don't see the receiver really throwing the pass. Yeah. Well, it said the same thing since yesterday. 2:30 p.m. today is what it said. Is it 2:30 yet? No, it's only 1:58. So, we'll see. We will see if they are true to their word or if they are slow like a bird. That brings us to the end of the first quarter. Buffalo's up by 2 touchdowns, but Detroit is threatening. Detroit's threatening. Let's go outside for a cigarella, shall we? If, in fact, Bills and Lions were to get into a fight, Lions would win, obviously. Why do they call it the flea flicker, but the bean flicker? I don't know why they call it that. Here in New Hampshire, it's 5 p.m. That's because you're far to the east of me. Far, far to the east. Oh. I just remembered something. I can't plug this in outside. We don't have any power. Because life is a thing that we know nothing. You want the Patriots to lose for a great draft pick? Well, I want them to lose for you, okay? Because I want you to get what you want. Therefore, I also want the Patriots to lose. That's how generous I am with my wanting. My whole life, people have said, Eric, you're such a generous wanter. All right, I guess we'll go out this way. It's so loud outside. There's the generators on. These power people need to get their act together. Fix the electricity already. Ridiculous. Yeah, it is. Thanks, the written word. I don't have my glasses. Do I? Yes, I do have my glasses. Hi, Morningstar. If only they collected more taxes from you, then the power would be back on. You know what's funny about like advocates to increase taxes? They don't even seem to begin with an articulation of needing more revenue for something specific. They just like begin with the idea that taking taxes is inherently good or something. It's crazy. Well, this is not actually beer. This is non-alcoholic beer. Because I don't drink alcohol, but I like beer a lot, so. This lets me keep my edge. These scoundrelly PG&E people. It's like, don't they know how disruptive it is to have all this generator shit and everything? It's fucking annoying. Okay, I am drinking vodka actually. Da. It's true. I am drinking the vodka. Well, you know what? That's fine too. You drink as much vodka as you want, sir. You're not going to get any criticism from me. What I'm going to do, instead of criticizing you, is pull some refreshing bong rips. Well, the Detroit Lions have successfully scored a touchdown. Good for them and their ways. That's exactly what they were hoping to do. They must be so happy. Brrr. And now that I've turned off the coffee maker, hopefully I can turn this heater on high without tripping the power strips surge protector thing. Oh, good job, number 17. Number 17 did an excellent job to get the ball over the goal line while being upended in a dipsy doodle fashion. Whilst being, I should say. All right. Well, good for you, Detroit Lions. Good for you. I'm proud of you. That makes the game more interesting. You succeeded, and it's all because of me. There. Now that's a lot warmer than it was. Where is Rachel? She is in bed. It's obviously very cold in here because we don't have any heat except for this. And it's warmer in bed. Anyway, she didn't sleep very well last night, so she'll probably be in bed most of the day. It was difficult. It's like it was different, right? I like sleeping when it's really cold, if you got enough covers on you, but it was also unfamiliar territory. So it was like I slept kind of good and kind of not good, depending on the time. What's a dipsy doodle? It's when you're running and somebody comes and goes whoop, and you go whew, whew. That's a dipsy doodle. That is a dipsy doodle. All right, let's move it along, commercials. Nobody wants to see your CBS show. Nobody wants to watch this dumbass show, Papa's House. No. There's not one person in the entire world who wants to watch Papa's House. I'm sorry, CBS. It's just, no. Why are you even still trying to make TV shows? You don't see a whole lot of scissoring in football, actually. Occasionally, somebody will try to make the tackle like this, and someone else will try to run like this, but very rarely.
I'm rich. I'm the best. I'm the greatest.
Well, it's that same lady. She's not a lady, you know. She's a teenager. She's a high school student. But anyway, she wants me to work with her on this other thing. But she just makes me mad because she doesn't listen to me. I tell her to just tell the truth. Okay, you guys hear it? TV shows are needed for a dipsy doodle. A dipsy doodle. That's when you like if you're running along and you slip on a banana peel and go like this. That's a dipsy doodle. Not the most common expression, maybe. Maybe it's a little specific to me. But nevertheless, that's what it is. All right. We've got a Bills player expressing shock and indignation, perhaps at being called for a foul. Well, I'm not sure what's going on, but not much action. Number 23 of the Detroit Lions, he's coming off the field, a little shaken up. A little bit shaken up. They'll probably take him into the tent to assess him, possibly for a concussion. He may enter concussion protocol, one never knows. I need to plug this in. A Nipsey Russell, yeah. There is no God but the great Lord alone, no partners and no Trinity. I like your song. I think he's got interesting lyrics. Hi, Underground Adventures. What are you, a mole tunneling under the earth? All of your adventures should be above ground. Who are you rooting for in the lingerie bowl? I don't know anything about it. No, that's not true. A man coast. Unfortunately, we'd be better off if people were more apathetic about politics, frankly. The U.S. suffers the same fates of populism that any more or less free and civil society suffers from. Apathy is a lot less dangerous than passion. And dispassionate correctness of my sort is very rare, not just in America, but in the world in general. Oh, you were replaced by the lizard people. Well, now it makes sense. Because they don't really want to spend that much time underground because they're cold blooded and they just soak up the sun particles to get warm. I want to sign some sort of global agreement to protect geese. And then I want to climb off of the plane with a piece of paper in my hand and say, "There will be geese in our time." Wouldn't that be funny? I think that's a good idea. I think I'm going to do that. Oh, oh! Almost caught, almost picked. In the end, just an incomplete pass. Can I also protect the gander? I'm not sure about that. Do souls exist? Well, yes. I'd say so. Oh, they hibernate. Hibernating lizard people. I didn't know lizard people hibernated. Friend, please lower voice of the sport. All right. I'll turn it down a little bit. I like having the announcers going in the background. Well, right now I'm more talking to the chat, I guess. So, Josh Allen, 4th and 2. They're going for it. He gets the ball successfully to number 26 for quite a long gain. Johnson again. Mr. Johnson is having himself a game. And it looked actually like Josh Allen put a little bit too much under that, and that it was going to be just past the outstretched hands of Mr. Johnson. But instead, Johnson reached up with his fingertips, grabbed the ball like this. Ah, I got it. The big 4th down conversion for Buffalo. Do souls exist? I mean, depending on how you define them, yes or no. Or maybe. I like to say yes. I think the geese movement was started by Chandler Greenville back in 1663. Probably. And then he was succeeded by Chamberlain Muffin Bags, the second president of the International Geese Association. Do holes exist? Well, yeah, they do. All right, I'll keep up talking with famous people, underground adventures, and you keep adventuring further and further underground into Earth's deepest chasms and caves. Well, the Buffalo Bills have just scored another touchdown. Number four, he's a running back. He's floppy hair guy. He's the guy whose hair is too floppy so you can't read his name. Jay Cook. Glasses make me look smart. Well, you know what? I bet these glasses make me look smarter. What do you think? Clamber Bay muffin bags. Well, it's coming up on 2:30 at this point, right? What time is it? It's 2:15. The power company says they're going to have the power turned back on at 2:15. Are they lying? Are they telling the truth? I mean, at 2:30 in 15 minutes. We will find out. I may need to go outside and put more gas in the generator. Let's go look. I filled it up earlier. My buddy set me up on a blind date and he said, I'd better warn you, she's expecting a baby. I felt like such an idiot sitting in the bar wearing just a diaper. That's a very silly joke. That's a silly joke. All right, let's go endure the loudness of the generator for a minute or two. See what the gasoline level looks like. Quite a bit in. I did fill it all the way to the top this last time, which was just a couple hours ago. So it should go at least 7 hours on a full tank of gas, which is I think 5 gallons. So I guess it's fine. But nevertheless, I'm tired of it, and the power, Pacific Gas and Electric needs to get their collective heads out of their collective asses and turn the fucking power back on. I'm gonna check what their thing says. Let's see if it's updated at all. I am very much looking forward to getting central heating turned on. Okay, let's look at the outage map. On my address. Oh. Oh, really? Now the estimated restoration time is 9:30 p.m. Are you kidding me? You're fucking killing me here. Do you know, in this county, only 380 customers are affected, including me, of course. 9:30, you fucks. What, did you take slow pills today or something? Oh my god. Just, oh my god. These fucking people. These fucking people and their fucking ways. 9:30 p.m. Oh my God. You've got to be kidding me. I'm going to have to get this thing started. I couldn't figure out how to do it yesterday. And I have to try to get it fixed today. Oh. Now I really need to get these propane heaters working. Because these propane heaters don't require electricity to work, but I... Hi, simple girl. Why is it not self-justifying if you would not debate your belief in God being that you think it's an absolute truth, and how would you prove that it is an absolute being that is not self-evidenting? What are you talking about? You talking to me? No, I mean the fridge is on right now because the generator's on, you know? No, I don't think that you don't. The reason you don't debate the existence of God is because it's misunderstanding what God is definitionally. God is something that you practice faith in, which is to say, belief in the absence of evidence or in the face of contrary evidence. If you were to argue in favor of it, you'd be saying essentially, I have good reason to believe in this, in which case you don't need to have faith. Do you understand now? Um, Rachel's asleep or in bed anyway. Yeah, PG&E is one of the most incompetent utility companies. Well, yeah, obviously, power grid failure would be unsustainable. Contemporary way of living would be unsustainable in the event of the absence of power. That just goes without saying. Who are by blood? Me? I'm fluidly transracial. My ethnicity, my ancestors, they change on a daily basis or sometimes an hourly basis. I'm all races and no races. Alright, we're gonna have to try to figure this fucking thing out, everybody. I'm gonna need your help here. I'm gonna need your help to figure this out. Let's just being honest. Let's just saying, let's not lie to ourselves, Eric. You're not going to be able to figure this out by yourself. Okay, so the Detroit Lions, meanwhile, are trying to answer again. They're down by 2 touchdowns again, but they have the ball, they're moving the ball. But can they fix this? That's the question. Alright, well, let's take a look at it. I'm gonna need to get some more light in here. Flashlight, maybe. We need to turn this thing on. Alright, we need to turn it on and make it go. Let me turn it around so you can see it better. Alright, let me mute this. We're going to take a look. We're going to take a gander with our gander vision. Because this isn't gonna. If the power's not gonna be on until 9:30 tonight, then or even later, they said 2:30 before. Oh. Could PG&E suck more ass? That's the question. And the answer, to the best of my knowledge, is no. Let's open up this. Maybe give us a little bit more light. Turn on this. Let me do the following as well. I'm gonna get another light over here to really shed some light on this situation. And we will see if we can't figure out how to make this go. All right. So, yes, my ethnicity is constantly changing. I'm fluidly transracial. All right, so let's look at this. Let's look with our eyes. Now, what you see here is this can be on pilot, which it's on right now, or on, or off. I think it's like, let me read this. Lighting instructions. I've not read the instructions before. Let's look at it. Okay. Access the lower controls. Turn the on-off switch to off, or set the thermostat to the lowest setting if used. Low, okay. Push the gas control knob slightly and turn clockwise to off. I guess that's this one. Or this one. It's been down for more than 24 hours now. It's going to be 36 hours before it comes back on, apparently. Knob cannot be turned from pilot to off unless knob is pushed in slightly. Push in the control knob slightly and turn counterclockwise to pilot. So, okay, turn this to off. That's on. That's off. Okay, that's off. Now put it to pilot. Okay. Pushing control knob all the way and hold in. Immediately light the pilot by triggering the spark igniter. Okay, so you have to hold this in, huh? Well, I'm going to have to also turn the gas back on because I have the gas off right now. There, okay. Push this in. I'm just a regular old American, is right. Okay. Continue to hold the control knob in for about 1 Z/X minutes after the pilot is lit? What? Okay, well, let's try putting this. That's low. Let's see. Maybe I need to do this other thing over here. I'm gonna try the wall thing too. Okay, I'll tell you the answer. I'm from Germany. I mean, I'm American, obviously, but my ancestors are German on both sides. Why you no want to work? What is wrong with you? Is this on? What is wrong with you? What are you doing wrong? I don't even know what to do. I don't think this is going to turn into old man blows up the neighborhood, but I just don't understand why it's not working. The gas is on, right? Man, I don't know how to do this. It doesn't seem to work. I'll tell you what, let's go try the upstairs one. See if we can get that one to work. I'm going to put that to off again. Let's go look at the upstairs one. Of course, I'm not going to be able to see as well there, but... Yeah, I had the pilot knob in the right position. We're not going to a goddamn hotel. What I should do is call PG&E and yell at them. But I'm just not the fighter I once was. Oh, it's so dark out here. Well, obviously we're going to have to open up these curtains and get some natural light because I don't have any cords run up all the way up here to power things. All right. Let's take a gander at the goose. Okay. So here we have the same setup, and I'm actually going to use a little technology called flashlight. So it's actually just the flash for the camera. Okay, so this is currently to off. Now it's a pilot. All right, let me go turn it on the wall too. All right, let's see if this works now. Well, I don't know. What am I doing wrong here? Like, it doesn't seem particularly difficult conceptually. I turn it to off. There. Now it's on off. Okay. This is on high. Maybe it should be on low. Pushing control knob all the way and hold in. Immediately ignite the pilot by triggering the spark igniter until pilot sparks. Turn gas control knob. Okay. Turn off. Verify the main line shut-off valve is open. Yeah, it's open, right? Pushing the gas control knob slightly, turn it to off. Okay. It's on off. Wait 5 minutes, clear out any gas. Go to the next step. Pushing the control knob slightly and turn it counterclockwise to pilot. Pushing the control knob all the way. That's this, right? And hold in, immediately light the pilot by triggering the spark igniter until pilot lights. Well, what the hell? What am I doing wrong here? don't know. Alright, well, I can't seem to make it work on either of them, so I don't know what to do now. Yeah, we've got gas. Yeah, the gas is on. It's off now. I put it back off again, but I should have checked the flux capacitor. I'm sure that's where the problem is. I don't know. I'm terrible at this shit. It's like I kind of want to go over and ask the neighbor if he can come help me. Because like I'm not good at this kind of stuff. It's like, hey, could you come like be the man for me at my house because I can't do this? It's just too lame. I just can't bring myself to do it. So I don't know what the fucking problem is, but I can't start these things for shit. So I thought I understood how they worked. But apparently I was wrong. $9:30? Just fuck me. Come on. It's ridiculous. 9:30. I don't even know. At this point, who even knows anymore? I can't get the heater to work. And the power's not coming back on until 9:30. And it's like coldest day of the year or whatever. Ridiculous. Very frustrating. Oh, it's not that cold. It's not like that. I mean, it got down to like in the 20s maybe last night. It's like 50 degrees right now. But inside the house is the same temperature as outside. I'm just a baby when it comes to yeah, I could look up a YouTube video on how to do it. What's the weather? Alright, try it again down here, good time. Look. We've been running water. The hot water is fine. You know, we have the hot water heater doesn't require any electricity. No, 50. 50. Okay? 50 degrees Fahrenheit. But, you know, it'll get cold again tonight. The point is, they said it was going to be ready by... I'm telling you, it's not that cold, Putty Cat. It's not cold enough for the pipes to freeze. Okay? Believe me. It's cold to be in a house with no heater, right? With no source of heat. It's not cold like the pipes are going to freeze. Hey, most of all, the thing that's annoying is having to run the generator, going to the bathroom, flicking the light switch. It's not no light turns on. You know, it's just the endless drone of this fucking engine in the background. It's annoying, and it's cold. But like at least in here, I can sit in front of this heater. There's an electric heater that I got plugged in. I had to come back inside because my phone's about to run out of electricity. 6 o'clock, huh? Why is this not working? Oh, I see why. There, now it's working. Well, the Detroit Lions are down by a touchdown and have the ball here as we close the second quarter, coming up on into halftime. Meanwhile, in the other game, Philadelphia is up 17-10 over Pittsburgh. You know, this is a little bit hot to have pointed right on it. Push it back a little bit more. So, well, that would be even worse, yes. Yeah, I know. I wish it, like, in retrospect, if I could do things over again, I would have spent the extra money for a Honda generator, which would be a lot quieter than this one. Alex and D says, I'm so high right now, I thought I was talking to you on FaceTime. You are, Alex and D. You are. What a frustrating development. I've been waiting all day for 2:30 to come around so that we have the power back on. Only for me to discover when 2:30 comes around, they pushed it back to 9:30. That's 7 more hours. Like, what the hell are they doing? Just fix it already. Frickety fracks. But do they listen to me? No, they do not. I'm not going to sue them. I'm just going to complain pointlessly. I'm just going to whine. My plan for PG&E is to whine impotently. Oh, you should have caught that. I tell you, Jared Goff is going to be upset at you for not catching that one. Hit you right on the hands, mister. Thanks, simple girl. the furnace is not the issue here. We have central heating, and that's not working because the electricity's off. Fine. We have these backup propane fake fireplace things that that will provide heat, and I can't get the pilot light to start on them. I just can't get it to work. I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. Maybe I'm not trying hard enough or long enough or something, but there's no good reason why it won't start that I can tell. Maybe I just need to push the pilot light down thing longer and let it build up some gas before pushing the spark thing. I'm not sure. All right, Tony. But only because the only reason I'm doing this is because it's spring break, spring break. There you go. The only time I do that is during spring break or Mardi Gras. It might as well be Armageddon, yes. I'm complaining a lot. I don't want to throw things at people. Once it's lit, hold it down for at least 30 seconds. It won't even get lit, Patrick D. I don't even know what's wrong with it. I'll try it again. But I'm bad at this kind of stuff. Hi, Helen August. Alright, let's try it again. Okay, so first of all, currently the gas thing is off, right? Because it's perpendicular to it. Now it's parallel to it, so it's on, okay? So that's good. Now, I'm going to turn it on the wall here too. So the thing is, it has over here this thing, which also doesn't require electricity, but which tells it how high to be, you know, like whether it should be on high or low or medium. Okay, so now we're gonna try this again. I've got the gas on. I'm gonna put the pilot to off, okay? Now the pilot is off. Now I'm gonna wait a while. It says wait 5 minutes. Maybe I'll actually wait 5 minutes. Buddy cat, I like your thinking. I do, but I don't have any amphetamines, so that's not gonna happen. Okay. Let's try it then, okay? So I'm gonna try. And we'll see. So, I've got the propane on. This is currently to off, okay? So I'm going to push this to pilot. I could try that too. Good time, that's possible, but I doubt that very much. Alright, so now it's on pilot. Now I'm going to push it down for a few seconds. And then I don't hear any gas. All right, let's try it this way then. But I know that's off. Okay. There, it made some sound. How will I know when it's on? Let's turn it off for a few seconds. No, I don't smell any gas. Okay, let me try just putting this on. Let me try this again. Oh, wait, is it going? No. It's not. Now I smell gas. I think. Can I just light it with this? Is the gas on outside to that line? Well, I mean, this is the gas line right here. And the thing is, I turned it off before when I turned these things off, because if you just, it actually burns through quite a bit of propane if you just have it on. So I know it was off. This is on. And I don't know, maybe I'll try it some more. What if I just put it on? All right, now it's on off. Well, I don't know how to do this shit. I hate this kind of stuff. I hate it. I can't do this stuff. But is it faulty on both of them? And there it made another weird sound, like it was doing something. All right, well, let's give it another try. This button doesn't push down. It just turns. Well, I mean, I would love to have an old-fashioned fireplace, but they're pretty hard to get past code up here. You have to have an older house to have one. We have a fireplace at the other house, but we don't want to go over there. Well, we don't have over there the generator, so I don't know. I give up. I give up. I'm going to just turn this off. Turn this off over here. And just sit down and cry. That's all I'm going to do today, is just sit down and cry. Because I cannot figure that out in a million billion years. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Great balls. I'm so mad at Pagua. Well, I mean, these things are the backup things, right? They don't require any electricity. But I just can't get it to work. Be cynical about the question, fruit or not, we are in a quandary. Your answer doesn't matter, counts as an answer. Which is better, being tough or comforting others? Comforting others. We all have a plenty hard life, you know. There are very few of us who are too entitled, although some, you know. Well, because we live in fire country, Saxy. And it gets very dry around here, but it's also a forest. So they're concerned that fireplaces might start a fire, but additionally, there's concern over air quality. You know, I don't know why I can't get this to work. I don't know. Maybe I could look it up on the internet and get some assistance with it from there or something. They're paying to light sometimes. Well, it's 48 degrees outside right now, so it's not desperate. Supposedly the power's coming back on at 9:30, at which point the central heating will work, and then it'll be a steady 68 degrees in here. I think I'm gonna take a couple of Tylenol. It's been a difficult couple of days because of all this power outage shit. Even though I'm not really handicapped too much and, should be grateful that I at least have electricity, can live stream, can watch TV, stuff like that, have internet, but it's so disruptive. Which is better? Asks Footy Cat. Being drunk, stoned, or maybe both? Probably, well, I think drunk is best, but you can't necessarily always have that. But what happens if the power does not come back on until 9:30 a.m.? Hi, Moderazi Sound. Hello, Serbia. How's the sexy missus? She's in bed. We don't have any electricity, or we have some electricity, obviously, but it's from the generator, so we don't have central heating. It made for a difficult time for sleeping and stuff, and I don't know. She didn't sleep much last night. Crashed out all day today. Yeah, I'm watching the Bills game, the Bills Lions game, but it's halftime right now. The Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. Still halftime, 21-14 is the score. No thanks, William. That sounds a little too much for me. What happened to Kamala winning? I guess Americans that weren't quite that insane. Well, because alcohol is the ultimate drug as far as, taking the edge off, just like making you chillax. All we are is just dust in the wind? I'm not. I'm mostly meat and bone and blood. American High is good, sure, but I can't drink alcohol anymore. You want Shador Sanders as your quarterback? I don't know about that, man. I don't know if he's that good of a quarterback. Here's an interesting question. If you were going to draft a running back, who would you draft? Scattaboo or Genty? I was watching highlights of both of them. I think Genty's probably a better running back. He's definitely faster. He's got better acceleration. But Scattaboo, he's a more physical runner. He does a better job of getting a couple yards out of nothing. You think Travis Hunter is the best project prospect? But you know what? Somebody made a good argument. The following thing: he was neither the best receiver in college football, nor was he the best DB in college football. So, is it better to be not top, not elite at two things, than it is to be elite at just one thing? I'm not so sure. MG Voss, good evening, South Africa. Good afternoon from California, America, where it's 3 in the afternoon and a brisk 48 degrees out. Well, I'm not disagreeing with you there, Putty Cat, that recent trends in drafting in football have moved away from drafting running backs high up. But I don't necessarily think that's a great idea. Like if you I don't know. You never know what the shelf life's going to be of any position, so I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing today, MG Boss? Mohammed Bagheri says, "Hi, dear. Hello, honey. Hello, honey. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you and the whole Bagheri family is doing well. God is that with which one engages as an agent via faith rather than reason." Hello, Poopsie Whoopsie. Poopsie Whoopsie is going to do a dipsy doodle, and then we're going to have a lot of fun. When Poopsie Whoopsie did a dipsy doodle is a good title for like maybe a musical or something. Like, here's one of the ways that not having any power is super annoying. So, my phone is pretty close to being out of electricity, but I want to go outside and smoke a cigarette. If I were in normal land, I would just plug it into one of the outside outlets and have electricity out there, no problem. But instead, we're in stupid town where I only have electricity in certain places from the generator and have to run power cable to do anything. It's just like, oh. Fortunately, I'm doing a pretty great job of complaining about it. And that matters. That matters more than people think. Poopsie whoopsie did a dipsy doodle. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. Poopsie whoopsie does dipsy doodle. Sounds kind of like a pornography. Well, I do have a. I should do. What I should do is this. And you know what? It's not only what I should do, it's what I will do. All right. So I've got this portable phone charger thing. Isn't what God is. It's how you engage God, being that you believe in Him, what God is objectively. Well, what I'm saying is that what God is objectively is an imagined or perceived or understood agent that one engages in via faith. So, in other words, you can't objectively give a clear definition or say this is determinatively what God is, because if you're going to do that, then you'd be able to either prove or disprove it, right? But you can't do that definitionally, because then it's not God you're talking about. So, you can try to get out of this fundamental reality, but no matter what, you will be engaging in a category error if you're arguing in favor or against God's existence. And that's just how life goes. It is a category error whether you want it to be or not. Unfortunately, a lot of times life's like that. We might want it to be something that you can argue about, but it's not. Not while actually doing any actual work, with words. You can pretend to argue about it. You can find other people who don't understand things to engage in pointless just back and forth with, but you're not really arguing about anything for the reasons I've articulated. All right, there. Now we've got this set up so that I can... Let's discuss manship. If you imagine we are a virus or we have something but body. My manship is doing just fine. I don't need to imagine it. I can just check it right here. My manship is being super manly as usual. All right, we've got this problem solved. Now we can go outside. So much has changed ever since my girlfriend told me we were having a baby. For instance, my name, address, and phone number. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. All right. We're going to hotwire God to the generator, huh? Sounds good. Sounds good. Now here's a partial. I'll smoke this partial. Oh, I feel like I may have a poop coming. Just shake it loose a little bit. I always like your visuals when you show your outsides. Here's some outsides for you. Here's my car. There's the driveway. There's some trees. Oh, I gotta poop. Okay. It is time to go poop. And like, what do we have in store for going poop? The annoyance of it being dark in the bathroom. Why is it dark in the bathroom? Because we have no electricity. I'll be right back. You guys just chill here. Oh, wait for me. So to answer your question about why have faith, I mean, the thing is, there are questions both ontological and cosmological that cannot be answered via reason. So we can rationally explain why something's wicked or immoral, but we can't rationally determine what we ought to do, right? We can only rationally determine what we ought not to do. And so, accordingly, what a magical thinking frame affords people is the opportunity to engage with those questions in a way that provides them an answer, whether it's an answer that's attained legitimacy according to the rules of its frame rather than of some other frame. What you keep trying to do is make it adhere to the rules of some other frame than its own. And lots of religious people do as well, you know. And it's wrong in both instances. Because what I was able to do is sort of unlock, even though I'm inherently profoundly a rationalist, you know, and a deliberative rationalist, somebody who wants to negate that which doesn't upholds, you know, withstand scrutiny. But what I ended up doing when I quit drinking alcohol was unlock an additional frame of reference that would normally not be one that I was particularly available to me, namely a magical thinking frame of reference. You might think that's a derisive term, right? Magical thinking. But it's not. It's another way of engaging things. Some things, like I said, cannot be engaged with via rationality. You can choose, therefore, to have a rational um, lack of closure regarding those kinds of questions, but there are certain kinds of personal subjective questions, for example, that you'd be best served to have an answer for than no answer. Since you cannot attain an answer for that rationally, you're going to need some kind of magical thinking frame. So, for example, Rachel uh, helped determine where we live based on an astrology app on her phone that said Mariposa was astrologically compatible for both of us. Obviously, I think astrology is complete bullshit. But the point is, it's a magical thinking frame of reference or tool that she uses to engage her intuition. Anyone can always ask a question, Million. I used to tell my debaters, don't ever ask if you can ask a question. And if the other people ask, can I ask a question? Say yes, and you just did. Candles, I'm not lacking for. Oh, I got it. I got it all out, William. I got a lot of poop out right there. The thing that's a challenge, of course, when you're pooping in the dark, you can't check the toilet paper to see if you've gotten all the poop cleaned off. So I just kept wiping and wiping for longer than I would expect to need to because who knows, right? Who knows if you can't see. Now I do have a oil lamp. We have oil lamps in the house too. We have oil lamps that go up the stairs, and we have an oil lamp in the bathroom right there. And we even have lamp oil. But it's like, do I really want to get out the lamp oil and get all that shit going and everything and get these things up and running? Um, do I really want to do all that shit when the power is going to come back on in a little while? Meow, 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 meow. Okay, let's check on the game. Have I ever smoked American Spirits? Yeah, I don't like them at all. The game is back on. The Buffalo Bills are now up by 14 points. And the Lions have the ball, trailing by 2 touchdowns towards the start of the third quarter here. So far, the Lions' offense has looked good in the first half, but um, Goff is going to go down, sacked by the Buffalo Bills defense here on that particular second down. I don't like American Spirits because they burn too slow, they take too long to smoke. No, Larry Ray, I think you're misunderstanding the word no, and you're just not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying if you believe that you can argue about whether God exists or not, you're making a category error. If you don't understand what that means, I don't really want to explain it right now. We're having a Bills Lions watch party. In other words, like I can't evaluate synchronized swimming in terms of diving rules, right? If I'm judging something like synchronized swimming according to the rules of diving, then the results will be all haphazard and all over the place. You have to evaluate things within their frames of reference and understand which frames of reference are appropriate for which kinds of questions. What I'm telling you is that your rationalist frame of reference is not appropriate for this kind of questions for the rationalist reasons I've articulated. Namely, it creates an implicit contradiction by being definitionally in opposition to the meaning of the word God. Now, you should be able to understand that if you're asking all these questions, which are good enough questions, you should be able to understand that answer. You just don't want to accept it because you want it to be an oppositional topic. And that's one to grow on, everyone. That's one to grow on. So, it looks like Buffalo has the ball back. Josh Allen, from his own 19-yard line, starting a drive to extend it to a 3-score lead. But out and he escapes. He was surely going to be tackled in the backfield, it looked like, but then he escaped. And he got a first down. That Josh Allen, he's a wily one. He's slippery, you know. You think you got him down, but maybe you don't. So, if you're asking me then, do I think that God is a good way to deal with questions that can be dealt with rationally? No, obviously not. That would be an inappropriate application of a magical thinking frame. To use a magical thinking frame to determine things that can be determined rationally, namely negationary things, right? Well, that which is wicked can be determined rationally. You don't need any. You just need. It's based. It's derived. It's derivative of an axiom. Josh Allen again, just running free and easy, like he's taking a walk in Central Park down the middle of the football field. The Chargers are down by 3 at Tampa Bay, but I don't think I'm getting that game, right? I just get the 2. Meanwhile, the Steelers are trailing by 4 to the Eagles at the Eagles, but looks like the Eagles are going to have to kick here on 4th and 18. They're going to try to kick a field goal. This is a very makeable field goal, 41 yards. So figure it's a 7-point game now in Pennsylvania, with the Steelers getting the ball, trailing by 7. Yep, it's good. You're not going to get NFL kicker miss many 40-yard field goals. All right. I need to give myself a haircut. Buffalo don't believe in God. Well, you should be oppositional towards people misusing God, right? Or any kind of magical thinking frame. So, for example, I'm oppositional to you misunderstanding what a magical thinking frame is and misapplying your rationalist critiques to something that cannot possibly be critiqued according to those legitimacy criteria, because that's not consistent within its frame, right? It creates contradictions implicitly. From a rationalist perspective, you can't do what you're doing. Forget about from a faith-based perspective. Unfortunately, they're even more likely than rationalists to make this mistake and think that they can prove God or something. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I've given up on the fireplace. The point is to understand what role belief has as opposed to knowledge, right? And to pretend as though belief has no role and only knowledge has role, first of all, is creating an artificial distinction between knowledge and belief that doesn't even really exist. But second of all, is most importantly trying to subjugate everything to your preferred frame of reference. Buzz off, not only did Jesus walk this earth, he worked as my gardener back when I was living in Los Angeles. He and Jesus and Jose did a great job. And for you to deny their existence, I think, is offensive, frankly. Is it because they're Mexicans? Are you racist? Is that what you're saying? Rationality is a way of calculating things, right? So if I'm using introverted thinking, or if I'm using verbal reasoning skills, I'm understanding words as defining limits on things that allow us to do constructive work with language or discourse or dialectic, you might call it. If we believe that constructive work can be done adversarially, then we're talking about rhetoric, right? But regardless, it's productive work being done with language because things are defined as specific things and not as other things. In contrast, people who use a different kind of deliberation, a subjective kind of deliberation, one that is an interested rather than a disinterested calculus, those people, they don't they don't process words in the same way. They don't think of words as first and foremost being useful tools to operationalize and define and do work with. They think of them as ways to express themselves and their feelings and their subjectivities. It's not an inherently worse use of language. In fact, it's a more sensible use of language because at least it's interested, it's self focused. You know what your own interests are because they're subjective. You don't have to justify them, right? So, do you see what I'm saying? Hopefully, you do. I'm not shambling, I'm not dissembling, which is what I think you mean. I am telling you that I don't have an advocacy regarding God because I understand the nature of the category of magical thinking frames and God. Accordingly, I'm not answering your question of what is God because I understand what God is not. God is not something that one defines definitively and operationally because that's when language is being used in the other way, the alternative way. So, for example, we don't um, we don't power something with electricity when we're powering it with propane. Okay, so like the heater, when the central heating comes on, it needs the electricity to to actually work, but all of the heat comes from propane, right? So we wouldn't say the heater is bad because it's not generating any heat from the electricity. We'd understand that, in fact, the electricity is doing its job and the propane is doing its job, and that's appropriate. I don't know how better to explain a category error to you. If you refuse to acknowledge the category errors exist, well, then you're just wrong. If you think that this does not qualify as one, then you're just wrong. And I'm saying, according to your frame of reference, according to your preferred frame of reference, a disinterested rational calculus that I'm using is informing you that according to our shared rational calculus, you are wrong on either count. And I'm winning the argument because I am correct because we're both using language in the what I consider and you consider the correct way, in a definitionally operationalized way, right? But for people like me who have a tendency to use a disinterested calculus, I my interested calculi can give me a lot of trouble. Knowing what's precious to me, what doesn't matter to me, what I want, what I don't want. Those things, those kind of questions are difficult for me to answer because I lack fluency in those subjective or interested calculi. I'm much more capable of understanding subjectively what's familiar to me and comfortable to me because that kind of subjective epistemic is in my conscious attentional configuration, you know? So, Detroit trying to mount the comeback here, down by 14 points, got the ball back, stopped the Buffalo Bills. This is an AI, be careful. Who is an AI? Well, I'm saying if you have a definitive answer regarding God, then it doesn't require you to have faith, right? And since God definitionally is that which requires faith, accordingly, you're making a category error. That should be straightforward enough. I mean, there's nothing complicated there. I just explained it in a nutshell, no problem. If you don't want to deny, if you want to deny that God is something that requires faith, well then prove it. If in fact God doesn't require faith, then prove God's existence. Go ahead. What you need to understand is that a relationship with God is a behavior, not an advocacy or an affirmation. So we use verbal reasoning and stuff when dealing with advocacies or affirmations, but not with behaviors. So you'll note that I don't need to justify to you, nor would anybody even ask me to justify it, right? Why I'm going for a walk right now. Why are you going for a walk, Eric? Because I feel like it, you know? Whatever, to make it feel good. But who cares? Why are you even asking me? I've decided to go on a walk, right? The same thing is true with prayer. Prayer is a behavior like going on a walk. It's not an advocacy or an affirmation like what I'm saying right now is. This affirmation I'm making, namely correcting you on your category error, is in fact an advocacy and affirmation. But prayer is not. It's a behavior. And so that's where the category error comes in. To the extent that it's not a behavior and you're making it into an advocacy, then you're committing a category error. Now, I'm not denying that many, many people make that category error, but I am not among them. I think that's a fumble. That's a fumble. I don't know who got it, who got the ball, who ended up with it. Oh, that guy did. Well, it looks like the Detroit Lions are going to lose this football game. Let's go over to the other game, the 7-point game. The Eagles have the ball again. They're up by 7. But, it's still at least a one-score game. A closer game than the other one. And on that first down, Jalen Hurts is not really on target with his pass. Oh, fumble. That's how the Eagles got the ball back. Horrible fumble by the running back. He just hit him right in the stomach and rolled right down his crotch onto the ground. No, faith doesn't follow reason. Faith is belief in the absence of evidence or in the face of contrary evidence. I already defined it for you. It's definitionally the alternative to reason, right? I don't need to have faith that this is a lighter. I can demonstrate its identity as a lighter by using it to light something on fire. I can find empirics to concretely determine its status as a lighter, either working or not, right? That's because it's a kind of question that is appropriate to empirical substantiation. You have to understand what kind of substantiation is required by what kinds of questions, right? And when things don't require any substantiation, like I don't need to substantiate to anybody that, oh, I have to go pee right now. It may or may not be true, but that's not anybody's concern but mine. And to think that we need to have a disinterested calculus about my bodily functions is requiring too much access to my subjective data on your part, right? We don't want to do that kind of thing. We don't want to mix our cereal and our fillet of fish sandwich. That's not a good combination. You want to let things be what they are and exist within the right frame of reference. So you don't need to use a magical thinking frame if you don't want to, but it's silly and irrational to deny that a magical thinking frame is available and can be used by people to accomplish certain things. Whether you think they should or not, well, there are contexts in which it's appropriate to use magical thinking frames and contexts when it's not. If they're trying to justify public policy with a magical thinking frame, obviously you should tell them to go shove their fucking heads up their asses even further because they need to get the fuck out of town. But this is how to think properly. You do not try to totalize things, right? No, not everything is reason. No, not every direction is up. Don't totalize. Next time somebody says, I'm 22, can I have some advice? I say, don't totalize shit. Except this rule. Totalize this one. Totalize my no totalizing rule is fine. Because it deserves to be totalized. But otherwise, you know what totalizing things results in? I'll tell you. A little something called totalitarianism. Is that what you want? You want totalitarianism? That's what you're going to get. All right. Making progress. I mean, the thing is, what I'm telling you is God requires faith, which is defined as belief in the absence of evidence or in the face of contrary evidence. How many times do you have to repeat this before you consider it in your calculations? You cannot have belief in God definitionally is precluded from you believing in it for good reason, for objective reason. Otherwise, it's not faith. This is not a difficult concept. Surely you can get this concept. Oh, well, if you think that God doesn't require faith, then what you're talking about is not God. You're talking about something that is either necessarily so logically, which is to say it's derivative of an axiom, or something that's empirically demonstrable, in which case it's corporeal. So we know God is. We don't know what God is exactly. We can't define it, but we know what God is not. God is not corporeal, and God is not derivative of an axiom. So, accordingly, no, motherfucker, deal with it. I hate it when people are so stubborn. Like, I've explained this to you plenty now. Just deal with the truth of it. Stop clinging to your wrongness boulder while it drags you to the bottom of the ocean. Anyway, no matter how many times you tell me your car is a Democrat, there's only so many ways I can tell you cars can't be Democrats. So, I'm not going to bang my head up against the wall any longer. If you want to insist your car is a Democrat, go ahead and try to have it vote. Your car's a Democrat. My hair is a rocket in New York.
The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor tracks your glucose in real time, and over time, it can help lower your A1C.
All right. Let's go put more gasoline on the generator. Fucking Pagutta. I hate Pagutta. Okay. I know it's a little loud. No shoot, Sherlock. The internet. But now it's back on. And my misery is done. The misery of no power is over. All right. How can faith be the basis of an existence? Like I said, faith is a behavior, not an advocacy or an affirmation. It's like you're not hearing what I'm saying or something. I don't get it. It's like I've already answered this question. Because faith is a behavior, not an advocacy or an affirmation, then accordingly we need to treat it like a behavior. Well, you can hope that I think whatever you want to hope that I think. I don't know why you'd be hoping that I think things, but you can hope all you want. There's no limit on hope. Just like there's no logical possible way to justify faith. And it's insane. It's not as insane as justifying having a salad for dinner. Because I feel like it, of course. Alright, let's see if this is working. Yes, it is. Good. Okay. Back you go. Back you go, stove slash oven. Back you go in your spot where you go. All right. The nightmare is over. Now I just have to clean up all the residue of the nightmare. So I made this coffee. I had to make it in here. All right. Okay. So we've got some things to do here. We've got some cleanup to do. No, not RIP. I just had a momentary lapse of internet. Because, you know, I unavoidably had to power cycle it. When I put the power back on to PG&E. But we're blessedly getting warm air coming out of these things again. And it's only not even 4 p.m. So, you know, it's not as good as 2:30 like they originally said, but it's better than 9:30 like their update said. I'm just happy I have power again. I'm happy that I can be done complaining about it. It's not like I want to spend my whole day complaining about the power company. It's just that when they suck, then they're going to get complained about. I better leave this on. I still have to go deal with the garage. I was just putting more gas in there, too. Didn't even really need it. I just figured I'd top it off because we were going until 9:30, but I guess that was the way to get it to then fix the power the whole time. All right, so we'll put this here. There. Okay. We don't need this space heater anymore. We've got a lot of cleaning up to do. Let's show you all the cleaning up we have to do. Oh, mercy. This one, we'll wrap it up like this. Oh, wait. It's attached to something over here. All right, there. Now that we've undone that one, we can wrap this up. Come on, you. All right. Lots of problems, obviously. After all, it's Eric doing it, so it's not going to go smoothly. There. We got that one. All put back like it's supposed to be. We'll get this one. We'll wrap this one up too. Like this. And then we'll tuck this up through here. Like meow. And there. Now, get this one. And we'll wrap it up. Like, yeah. Okay. So, we've got this one wrapped up now. Okay. This one stays here. And gets plugged back into the wall where it was plugged before. And there we go with that. Okay. Now let's get some more cords. Like this one, for example. And this one. Going through the cat door. Let's pull them into the garage. Okay. So now we've got these in the garage. And we're going to unplug them from here. Unfortunately, the neighbor is chainsawing, but not much I can do about that. Alright. Okay. Alright, now we've got to wrap up these cords. So, we'll start with this super long one. It's never really wrapped up that well, so it's just so much wrapping. Oh no, this isn't the one that's super long. Okay, so I'll put this one back over here where it goes. Hi. Hi, Lulu. Hi, girl. Look who came to visit. It's Lulu. Hi. What a sweetie. Yes, what a good girl. Yes, I love you. Anyway, she's a really nice dog. She's a sweetheart. Thanks for coming to visit me. It's very considerate of you. I wonder why her tail's like that. Is she smelling something she doesn't like the smell of? Like a bear or something? I don't know. Whose dog is it? It's the neighbor's dog. Jared and Kay. But they know that we're always happy to have Lulu come visit. Even if she takes a dump over here, I don't care. Alright, wrapping up this cord still. Pretty exciting stuff. We've got a little bit of unfortunate chainsawing going on across the street. But it is burn season. So, you're supposed to burn all your fuel, like dead wood and stuff. This is difficult. Just go. Just be tangled up. I don't even care. All right, there. Now I have to go get the other ones from inside and bring them out here. Let's go. It's nice and warm in here. Okay. Here are the other cables we need to get. Put these back as well. So you can see it's a real cord intensive operation when we lose power. Okay. Put this back here. All right, now we'll fix the garage door. Come on. Come on. You can do it. There you go. Now, get this thing here. Go like that. Okay. Now that should work. Let's go try it out. Good news, everybody. It works. Boy, you want to talk about a real ordeal. We're still not quite done putting everything back. This also needs to get put away. This we put, well, it has been in the attic, but I think I might just leave it in the garage. Or I know what I'll do. I'll do the thing that I sometimes do. When something has to go in the attic, and I don't feel like going into the attic right now. I put it in its midway location. Just put it there, and then later on, when I come in here, I'll see it, and I'll be like, oh, I'll just go put that in the attic now. That way, I don't have to go up there at this moment. All right, we're making real progress here. I almost feel like it's time to cook some dinner. Okay. I'm about ready for Rachel to get up now. You know, it's like one of the things that can be frustrating for me in general is there are some matters that are still subject to debate, right? So, like, what's the correct position on it? And there are other matters that are fully resolved. I don't like it when people want to come argue about things that are fully resolved already. You know, like, is the earth flat? It's not a matter that's open for questioning. Neither are matters of like rights and justice and stuff like that. Those are very clearly well defined. Negative right stuff is rational, etc. People want to argue about it like it's not determined. The thing is, these matters are all clearly already resolved. Not just me, but lots of people have resolved them already. And people still want to argue. Yeah, I'm hungry. I need to eat something. All right, so what are we making? That's the question. I think it's time to get Rachel up. All right. I guess I'll go get Rachel up. I'm not a huge fan of our, conflicting sleep schedules. I'm not exactly sure what can be done about it, really, but it's frustrating to me sometimes. Let's see what's going on in the chat. No. Uh, I'm not getting ready for rodeo. Well, I'm talking more. Yeah, well, one could argue, in theory, like one could argue anything. One could make claims anyway about anything. But what I'm saying is, conditionality allows us to resolve most questions of any great significance. It does not solve the problem, Freddy Cat, because we might go to bed at the same time, but she might not sleep. She might be awake for hours. Eventually get up because why should she have to lie in bed when she's not asleep or sleepy? For somebody who's SI up top, it seems a simple enough matter, but for SI eighth and SI fourth, it's not such an easy matter. Name, I wasn't ignoring you. I was ignoring everybody in the sense that I wasn't looking at the chat because I didn't have my glasses on and I didn't have this. I didn't have this tab open. I have a neighbor named Kay. Yes, I do. Well, I don't think any there's no successful way to lobby for a ban on firearms in any state because the Supreme Court has unequivocally upheld the individual right to own a firearm. So it doesn't matter what Florida state legislators try to do, it will be struck down if it denies individuals the right to own a firearm. Well, name, I think that you're not very clever, really, though you think you are. But I am a little bit smarter than that. Yeah, right. Right. I think that you are trying to be as provocative as possible, but I'm unimpressed. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm still unimpressed. I expect some, I guess, originality slash insight slash, I don't know, humor, something. Instead, you're just like, I'm going to continually be an idiot until it provokes a response of some sort. Now, I said faith is a behavior like jogging, right? A dog, one might argue, doesn't choose to wag its tail. It wags in accordance with some sort of reflexive response to subjective experience. But going jogging is a choice of a behavior to engage in. So breathing is not a behavior to engage in, although you might intentionally make it one, right? But implicitly it's autonomic. Whereas choosing to go jogging is a behavior you engage in. So once again, you're trying to make more category errors rather than just listening to me and learning from what I'm telling you. Well, you seem to be conflating faith in other people, for example, or faith in statements of fact about the material world with statements about God, right? First of all, I'm not one to make a bunch of statements about God. You're the one who keeps making statements about God, right? Not me. I'm just explaining to you that prayer is a behavior which can be defined as exercising faith in God. And God is constrained in what it can be, in that it must require faith, which is definition. I've already explained all this to you. Why am I banging my head against the wall? Just listen and learn rather than trying to fight me on this because you're wrong. Okay, so I'm going to go get Rachel up, I think. Okay. So I was, you know, sometimes I get a little fussy when Rachel's asleep all day and then, she gets up and I'm ready to go to bed. Fair or not, it causes me some distress/frustration. Oh, how did you not catch that? How do you not catch that? I don't know if Rachel's gonna get up now or not, but I got pretty frustrated yesterday because I was dealing with everything and she was sleeping all day. It would seem that it should be an easy enough solution to this, right? It's like one of us just needs to stay up, I guess. And like maybe, obviously, it would have to be Rachel because we need to be awake during the day, doing stuff during the day. We can't just be awake at night all the time. AJ Brown. I watched one of his videos the other day, I think. Former Arizona State receiver. I watched a video of him at the Arizona State BYU game. Hi, Fly Guy. Hi, Major Johnson. I'm not a bot. No, I'm done with you, Ray. Sorry. I've banged my head against that wall enough now. I've explained and explained and explained, and the reason I'm done banging my head against the wall is because your previous responses indicated either an inability to, a refusal to, or an unwillingness to, or something, actually understand what I said and apply it. So now you're saying, now I'm going to actually respond to what you say, Eric? No, too late, motherfucker. You've wasted enough of my time. We're not playing that game anymore. You don't want to listen? That's fine. Go, don't listen someplace else then. I'm not playing this game with you anymore. I'm in no mood for your shenanigans. No mood whatsoever for your shenanigans. I guess I'm going to end this stream now. Maybe I'll stream again later. Talk to you later. Thanks for being here. Bye.